Hi, everyone. So today I'm actually going live here on YouTube and up there on Instagram. So my eyes are probably going to be more on YouTube. So Instagram, just bear with me. Um, and today is going to be not really a formal conversation, but it's not going to be necessarily, I'm going to explain about this or that. But I wanted to somebody brought to my attention uh, when somebody buys a health coaching program, uh, at the end of the day, you're not paying for the program, right? And the lovely little guide and the lovely little handouts. Yeah, I mean, you're paying for that, but that's not really why people hire a health coach or a particular health coach. So today I'm going to use a lot of analogies when it comes to just coaching in general. So in relation to like even an athlete and a coach, because coaching is coaching. So I used to do, and I know I've said this many times before, but I spent 25 years being a high level gymnastics coach. I was coaching a lot of athletes over those years who were driven to get into Division I schools, as well as the elite world. But my career didn't start out at that path. I've been in various programs. So stepping back and thinking about when somebody buys a package from me, what are they purchasing, right? I had somebody ask me, at the end of the day, just to step back and think about, it made me think about my gymnastics career. Um, there are different calibers for coaching. There are different athletes and or clients, right? There are athletes who like to do the sport just for the fun of it. And I say that and I have to laugh because people will always say, well, kids should have fun. But people's version of fun is different. And that's kind of going to be what I touch on. So there are those athletes. They don't want the pressure. They don't want the stress. They don't want to have to put in the commitment, the time, the effort, the work, which is absolutely fine. But those are the particular athletes that I would call the recreational type athlete. They can even be recreational competitive. They are in it from season to season. They don't have as many long term goals, and so there's a certain coach for those type of athletes. Okay, then there are those athletes kind of like in the middle. Um, they are committed, but they don't have this zooming goal. They're committed, but they need somebody to pull that goal out of them um, to a certain extent. I mean, you cannot develop goals for other people. It has to be their goal for them to take ownership. But there's those athletes in the middle who are like, I think I want to be good, but they haven't decided that I am going to do and be where I need to be the best. Okay. Then there's that type of athlete and there's that type of coach. So those type of athletes are people who they will go to the best program that they feel is in their area. They will be begging for the best coaching possible. They won't mind being coached hard because their goal is so high. They want to be at the best university the country has. They want to not just be on the team, they want to lead the team, or they have these eyes set on, I want to be on that Olympic team. And I'm not here to say that as long as they have that goal, they're going to see that come to fruition. But it doesn't matter. For those years of training, they know what kind of athlete they want to be. And I think that's the first step. So whether you're seeking out health coaching or athletic training, what kind of athlete or what kind of client, right, do you want to be? Okay. Are you in that situation where you're like, this is it? I want the best. I'm so tired of feeling not well that I'm coming to you because I want to know the plan, the process, previous results, even, but I will do what it takes to achieve my goal. Just like an athlete who is an elite athlete in the top Division I type athlete, they aren't going to question how hard it's going to be. They just are going to say, show me the way and I will follow. Okay. I'm trusting you to have the answers and the solution, so to speak. And I want you to show me the way. I will show up. I will do the work. I will do the homework. I will put in everything I can, and I won't make excuses. I'm just going to follow your plan and trust you because I know that you can get me there. Okay. So those are some pretty big shoes to fill, right? But that kind of athlete needs that kind of a coach. That same coach who is like driven to provide the results. So at the end of the day, are you paying for, the number of hours that you're training or the health coaching program, the cute little package? Or are you paying for that person that's like, if that's how much you're in it, I'm in it all the way with you. I know I will give you what you need. I know I will hold you accountable. And I know that I will help you rise to that goal. Now, let me just say nothing's guaranteed, right? But it doesn't matter. Those two types of personalities thrive on the process and trusting the process. So you're paying for the experience, okay? The experience that coach brings to the table. But when I say experience, I don't mean years in the coaching business. I mean, what does how do they show up every day? What is their level of expectation of you and themselves, right? Are they known to provide you with the detail, the care, but they make you show up and do the work, right? They're basically telling you, I've got this, but now you've got to follow your end of the deal. Those are very high achieving seeking coaching. And there are certain programs that are designed for those type of people. And those are the programs that are very like healing when it comes to the health coaching world. So the healing protocols I would compare to, again, I keep going back to that elite athlete training regimen, where there's one goal in mind and they will do what it takes to reach that goal. So a healing protocol is for somebody who's like, I'm just over feeling sick. I am so tired of feeling exhausted. I'm so tired of having bloated stomach, brain fog. I know something's wrong with me and I need to do the work, and I'm coming to you to help me. You have this program and this plan that I think will help me, but I need you to help to guide me. And that's what you're paying for. You're paying for that person who shows up on the other side of the screen every day and delivering, because a good coach can deliver the material in a way that you understand, that you learn, and that you're motivated and inspired to continue. Okay. That's a good coach, a really good coach. And I used to try to always tell my former gymnasts, recognize the difference between an average coach, a not good, so great coach, average coach, and a really good coach. A really good coach adds that extra little sauce that makes it just a little bit more, I hate to use the word demanding, but again, it's that person who doesn't let you settle for less than what you're capable of, right? And that person who will stand and say, look, you told me your goal was this. This is what you said you were wanting. Now, are you really wanting that? Because if you're finding a reason not to do it, then I don't think you really want it. A good coach will be able to have those hard conversations with you. A really good coach. An average coach will be able to bring some good material. Okay. They'll be able to bring some good, okay, let's do this and this and this. But I would say an average coach doesn't know how to get into your head. They don't know how to get into that mindset of creating the change that you said you desire. I don't, it's like, again, these are all just my opinions. So don't, an average coach may sometimes, this might be controversial, but they may be more worried about you liking them than than you making them the best that they can be. And so therefore they might let you slide with some stuff and say, oh, I get it. I understand. I understand why, but a great coach is going to say, okay, that's a good, thanks for letting me know, but why didn't it get done? Right? Those are the people, but you said you wanted this. And I remember having these conversations. And to this day, she's a very driven athlete, very, very driven. Well, she's no longer an athlete, but she was somebody who pushed me to do the elite world. And there were moments where like it got hard. It got hard for her and it got hard for me as well. But she pushed me because her goal was so high and she wanted to achieve things that like I couldn't let down. I really could not let down. And I remember having those conversations sometimes with like, look, you said this was your goal. I'm not in it for me. This is your goal. And we would have those moments, right? But at the end of the day, those type of personalities were working together and it just kept moving up, 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 up the ladder. And she went on to have a phenomenal collegiate career at the top school in the country. And she did reach her goal of becoming an elite athlete. So I learned a lot from that athlete pretty much alone. But I would say health coaching is very, very similar. So when I looked at my business, and I'm working with a business coach now, and he just kind of brought some things up to me, and I said, okay, so I have to have a package for that person who they just want the appetizer. They don't really know if they want to do. They're just like, I think I want to feel better. I just want to lose a few pounds. So I have to have that program for them that's a little bit lighter, a little bit more simplistic yet effective. So I would never say anything I'm going to touch is not going to be, ineffective. It's still going to have major impact. And then I have this middle ground program for somebody who's like, I want to start, I think I really want to start healing and I need more help. But let me start out with, let me see where this goes. So I have this little area there. And then I have that elite athlete. I want Division I school where it's all in. It's all in. And that's where, honestly, you guys, you're going to get the best coach out of Amy. That is my mindset, is we're in this together. And if you're going to give me 100%, I'm going to give you 100% as well. There's no 50-50. There's no, you're going to give me 40%. I'm going to have to drag you 60% of the way. That's just not how I operate. So that person who's like, I've got to make massive change. I need massive change. I cannot go another year where I am. My road is going down the wrong path right now. And if I don't make a change now, I'm just going to be going further and further into that path, and I need help. But I'm expecting you to bring me that protocol. And it's like that kind of person is going to raise my game. And then if we're both bringing our A games to the table, then you're going to probably see massive results, right? And so that's where I'm pretty much my best. If you ever were to talk to any of my former gymnasts, they would tell you, my phrase is, I'm no fun names. It's all business. It's like, what's your goal? What's the way we get you to this goal? Okay, here we go. And I even got the nickname A-Train for that reason, because it's like, you said you want this, here we go. There is no stopping. And so when I had to step back and I had to think about what kind of program is right for certain people. And like I said, the appetizer is for those people who are like, I'm kind of interested in changing my lifestyle, but don't put a lot of pressure on me. Do not put a lot of expectations on me. I just want to see where this goes. Okay, well, here's a flexible, and that's what I call my Revitalize 28-day program, which is launching a new group May 1st. So that's the perfect opportunity. It's a little bit more lighthearted. You're still getting really good information because we talk about commitment, exercise, self-care, in addition to exercise. But then my other two signature programs, the Gut Thrive in 5, and then the De-Stress the Body Back into Balance, those are for those people who are more here. They are 12-week programs that require a lot of commitment from not just you, but from me. Okay. So I put a lot of time into those clients because it requires a lot of effort and commitment, because healing is very different from dabbling. Just like I used to say this last year a lot, training is very different from playing. And I used to jokingly say, I'm just going to gymnastics class, and that was not the arena for me, because that's not training. Training is when you're doing all the things that are asked of you in order to reach that goal, right? And to set yourself up for success, because that's what we're looking at. How we don't want to set you up for failure, but if we don't apply the strategy, the protocol in a step by step, and if I don't deliver the information effectively, I'm setting you up for failure. And anybody who knows Amy, I over prepare. When I say overtrain, it was in a way that like I made sure those kids were prepared so far in advance that it was easy to compete. It was easy to manage the emotions. It was just so laid out in such a manner that like neither they stressed nor I stressed. You got nervous because you knew you could do well. That's very different from setting an athlete up for failure by not having a very strategic planned out process, and from allowing athletes to not commit to the training regimen, right? Health coaching is no different. So Revitalize 28 Day, there's not a lot of pressure. There's not a ton of accountability. It's group coaching. So you're not like signaled out. You would receive in that program 4 group coaching sessions, but you'll get 2 30-minute coaching sessions just to get a taste of like how I can help you achieve your personal goal, right? But it's a little bit more like, okay, let me see. I need to step my foot in the water, but I'm not ready to go all in. Perfect opportunity to do that. But then the Gut Thrive in 5 and the De-Stress Your Body Back into Balance. It is we're in this together type program. But you guys, I would say anything you have to go all in with, so much more rewarding, and it's so much more, you're going to get massive transformation in those programs. So when you think about like school, and maybe go back to your college days if you happen to go to college, and you remember those finals, right? Or a professor or a class where you're like, oh my gosh, it was so hard. But you remember that professor because they made you rise to the occasion. And it was so difficult, but you appreciated the end result so much more, right? And you stood back and you're like, wow, I did this. I would say Gut Thrive in 5 and my De-Stress Your Body Back into Balance, those 2 programs are that. Whereas Revitalize 28 Day, if I compare it to college, it was one of those courses you threw in because you just knew it was going to be easy and get your GPA up. It's still going to learn. You're going to enjoy it. It was one of those courses I would enjoy. It was light, but I also knew it wasn't going to be something that each week I was going to have to deliver on the outcome. But at the end of the day, if I really told you guys, if you have some major issues to fix, such as, you're pre-diabetic or you already are type 2 diabetic, you're on high blood pressure medication, and it's all lifestyle related. It's not this major wacko gene, but it's more like, yes, we have genes. We either turn them on or we leave them turned off. But if you're on the verge, because dysfunction leads to disease, and if you're on the verge of disease, you need the Gut Thrive in 5 or the De-Stress protocol. Both are going to lead you to healing. It just, with certain clients of mine, I say, I think you're a better candidate for the Gut Thrive in 5. I think you're a better candidate for the De-Stress protocol. It just depends on where you are. But if your health is on the line, you need to do something like your life depends on it, because it does, right? And those 2 programs are for that. If you're in a situation where you're just like, I really just hate this belly weight that's come on, then you may not be ready for such a program like that. Although I think everybody needs those programs. So anyway, that's all I wanted to come on today and to say, like, if you were an athlete looking to be a Division I top school, okay, in your sport, everybody knows what schools are the top schools. You already know what kind of athletes get to that type of school. You know what skills they do, you know how they look, and you often know what gyms they come from, because a lot of colleges go back to the same gyms because they trust those gyms have those coaches that create those athletes for their top-notch program. Elite world is no different. If you're an athlete and you're like, I want to be the best that I can be, and I want elite, you're not going to go to a recreation gym where everybody's just kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Those kids are going to be smart enough, and they're going to seek out the coach that is going to make them rise to the occasion. And that's where what you have to ask of yourself when it comes to receiving a health coaching program. And you're not paying for the program. At the end of the day, you're paying for that person sitting across from you, whether it's in person or whether it's via Zoom. You're paying for that person and how they make you rise to the occasion. Because at the end of the day, you could buy books. There are so many books and there are so many resources on the market that if you really could do it alone, then why would we have so many people sick and unwell and unmotivated, to be honest, if you could do it alone? And even, like I said, myself included, I cannot do my business alone at this moment. I had to say, I'm in, okay? And it was scary to put the money down, because that's what we fear a lot too. Because when we put that kind of money down, you know what happens, guys? You will do the work, because if you're smart enough, you're going to say, I'm not losing that money, and you will show up. And sometimes it takes that kind of program to get you to change and to evolve. And I had to do that this week. I had to put down a chunk of money that I was like, ooh, scared me. But I also knew I'm in that situation of, just say, the client who's like, I need help. I can't go another year doing things the way I've done them. I can't go another year being that person that I've been for the whole year. I want to be great, and I want to rise to the occasion. Therefore, I need to seek this coach that's going to make me each week show up with assignments done, and push me out of my comfort zone. So you have to ask that of yourself. What do you want when it comes to your health coaching, right? There's so many things on the market now. There are all these pills and supplements. Don't get me wrong. I believe in a lot of supplements, because I have benefited from a lot of supplements, but you cannot replace the actual lifestyle with a pill. And that's what people are still wanting. And then they get all down and all depressed because, sure, they dropped weight, but they're still not feeling good about themselves. They're still having digestive distress. They're still having depression, anxiety, those kind of things, because we think that if we change the outside, it's going to change our inside. And it's quite the opposite. What's going on the inside, chemically speaking, is affecting this, right? So don't mistaken a pill that promises weight loss, it might help, because ultimately we want to get you feeling better. But you have to still do the work. And I see all these things popping up everywhere, promising the glorious weight loss and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, great. So are you just but it's not going to fix the inflammatory response in your body, right? It's not going to. You have to start understanding, like, use that supplement, right? In addition to seeking out, but I need to know what foods are healing for my body. I need to know what foods are for my body, against my body, because everyone's body is very different. I want to discover, like, how to get my stress response down, because I'm tired of living with anxiety and depression. I need to know if I have a leaky gut, first and foremost, because if you have a leaky gut, it doesn't matter what pills you pop. You're going to have issues until you seal and heal that gut lining. That's why I'm such a strong advocate. I promote Gut Thriving 5. But we have to end again. If you didn't get to that state of wellness overnight. It took probably decades of toxicity built up. So just taking that pill is not going to necessarily remove all those toxins from your body. So that, again, that's why I focus on gut and liver health. But we're still a society that has our priorities a little backwards, and we're still wanting instant gratification rather than finding the love in the process. This is all stuff I used to tell my gymnasts. I was like, quit videoing yourselves. Stop. Quit doing that, because they've lost the love of the process of doing the sport, of doing the flip in the air, and knowing that it took 3 months to figure out that one darn skill. Health coaching is no different. It takes 3 months just to get your body to begin transforming, right? But we all want that pill that's going to promise glorious results without doing anything more in 4 weeks. So we're still that, we've become that nation more and more, we've become the world more and more that it's very hard to get people to commit to what it takes to truly transform. When you transform your body, you transform your health, you transform your life. A pill will not do that. And that's really what I want to hit home. So to get back, and I need to end this, what are you paying for when you decide to sign that dotted line? You're paying for that person that's going to hold you accountable, but they have to connect with you. They really have to connect with you and your goal. A high achieving health coach who expects a lot of themselves and will give you all the detail and all the work in return is not going to do very well with somebody who doesn't know if they really want to do the work. But somebody who's like, I've got to change this, and I will do everything I will do everything I can to help resolve this issue. That's the person who's going to work really well with a very high achieving coach because the goals are too similar. Neither one is going to expect less of themselves. So anyway, I just wanted to come on. Thanks, guys, for listening and explain what you're paying for. You're paying for the person who is guiding you. And that experience, you're paying for the experience. I guess that's the better way to phrase it. Because some will provide you with some will provide you with phenomenal, and others will provide you there in the middle. So just decide what it is that you want, and what kind of coach do you feel, and who do you trust, and who's going to get you there. That's the key. All right, guys. So have a lovely day. I've got to stop both of these. I'm going to stop YouTube first. All right.